This monstrosity in front of you is known as the XP-55 Ascender. And that is a Chaika I'm shooting at. Come here, Chaika. Chaika doesn't want to play with me. Yak 9 looks like he wants to play with me. Look at that zoom climb. You gorgeous yak. He's a burning ball of flame. I picked this aircraft up during a live stream because somebody requested that I fly it out. I flew it 3 or 4 times there. This is the second time I've flown it for a video. So maybe just a handful of times I've actually flown this guy. It does have some quirks, as it did in real life. I think this is actually probably a halfway decent flight model. It reflects its problems it had in real life. I'm going to roll over here. This is strictly an energy fighting aircraft. It cannot turn fight. It can barely turn at all. So you have to stay somewhat disciplined with this guy, or else you will die. I cannot hit that LA-5 for the life of me. Get zoom climb back up. I'm going to talk about later in the video. It's real life kind of history, and I'm seeing if that Chaika can catch me. No, he cannot. But for now, let's take care of these Russians. And I'm going to continue this attack on the LA-5 if I can find where he went. He's underneath me. Come on, roll over. He's going to fly directly underneath me. That's where I want him. Here we go. There's some more hits, and I cannot hit him for the life of me. This aircraft has 4 guns mounted in the nose. There'll be 250 cals, 2 20mm. Each gun has 200 rounds. Pretty punishing armament. That's probably the saving grace of this aircraft. It's a very fragile aircraft. If you take one hit, the thing usually crumbles apart. But the good news is you're also a very small and awkward target to hit. This might be a better lineup here on the LA-5. Let's see, diving down. I'm using the 50 cals to try to see if he'll turn. He's not interested. There he goes. Let's see if I can hit him here. A little bit more. Fantastic. Alright. That took more rounds than it probably should have. Get back up there. See Chaika behind me. Gotta roll over. See, that's what I mean by awkward turn times. This thing cannot turn to save its life. Let's see. Where is Chaika going? Chaika is gonna die. There we go. Alright, let's fly towards our base. I think I saw something over here earlier. There's still a few Russians missing from our little hunting party over here. There's one, right down there, I-16. Wonder what he's been up to. So let's dive down here. I have 2 thoughts. I'm going to probably try to dive, pick up some speed, and I want to see if he's going to go for head-on. If he goes for head-on, I'm going to go straight up and kind of loop around like I did on the LA-5 and dive back down on him. If he tries to avoid the head-on, I might try to take it here. Like I said, I have 4 guns in the nose. This is... He's not even good. What's he doing? He's just flying straight, so there goes that plan. It doesn't get any easier than that. Alright, so now that we've taken care of him, and I don't see the other 2 in sight, let's talk about this aircraft's history. In 1941, the U.S. Army said that they wanted to have companies start investigating the possibility of having pusher power propelled aircraft. 3 companies stepped up to the plate, and the XP-54, 55, and 56 were born. We're just going to talk about the XP-55 because that's the one that we have in game. I suspect we'll possibly have the XP-56 someday as a premium aircraft. I'd like to see that personally. Curtiss built a kind of test bed for this thing. The Army wasn't interested because they saw the initial performance results. Curtiss spent some of their own money. And then the Army said, okay, let's go with 3 Allison-powered prototypes. The Army paid for those. This aircraft, once upon a time, was somewhere written in to have a Pratt & Whitney power plant. And I think the radial engine probably would have been a better design for this aircraft. The Allison engine was just problematic to begin with. And it was probably the wrong choice for this aircraft. When the first prototype hit the flight line, it had a lot of trouble taking off. Had to get a lot of airspeed over that canard and elevator to get any lift over it. So that was the first concern, is that the basically how long the runway had to be and how much speed this thing had to get up to take off was a problem. And then maneuverability was also the big issue. This thing just handled terribly. Terribly. The aircraft was lost a couple months later due to some spin tests. The aircraft lost control. Pilot bailed out. He was okay. The first prototype was lost. Due to that, the second prototype was limited to armament testing, where they just basically shot some guns and hit some targets. And then it went back up. That aircraft is now owned by the Smithsonian and is on display. You can see it today. The third aircraft, the most famous of the XP-55 incidents. In Ohio, they're actually having an air show showing off some of the warbirds at the time, and I think it was like 1943 or 44. And 100,000 people gathered around to see the U.S. Army aircraft. And the XP-55 was leading a flight over the airfield. The XP-55 pilot decided that he wanted to roll. The aircraft did about half a roll, and then when it basically was inverted, the aircraft dropped straight down and into the tarmac. It killed one person in a car, and the pilot was actually flung from the aircraft, and he somehow lived. He was severely injured for the rest of his life, but he did walk away from it. This aircraft I don't think was ever looked at as to actually be put into production for a World War II fighter. I think it was more of just trying to explore new avenues of aviation. And I'm sure it made quite a few contributions to future designs and to just what we know about engineering today. I cannot find these guys for life of me. I'm going to cut the video here, and I'll start recording once I find these two guys. So sure enough, I flew around the map for a long time, and now I need to land to get ammo and fuel. And there he is. He's diving on our Mustang here, so I'm going to pick up as much speed as possible, zoom climb, and defend our airfield, and I'll just take the head on. I have two 20mm guns with ammo still. Try to protect my Mustang pilot. Let's see, I'm going to wait for him to get nice and close, start shooting. I took out his motor, but I don't think that's enough. He's still going to hit that Mustang. Flew around this map for freaking ever and could not find this guy, and sure enough, he was just waiting for us to land. Oh, the Mustang bailed out, so he's not going to give him the kill. And hopefully the anti-air guns get him, or I will. Also looks like the other Mustang's closing in fast. This I-16 waited for God knows how long, for basically nothing. I'm going to catch up to him quite quickly here. Let's see if we get some hits. I'm going to shoot right in front of him. Oh, Mustang got him. So that's the end of him. He basically tried to camp our airfield for, I don't know, at least 15 minutes. Didn't pay off. Your team could have used it, buddy. Alright, so that's the end of the round. Hopefully, if... I'm not saying buy this XP-55. Hopefully, watching this video, I'm not getting you to open up your wallet and buy this thing. It's actually kind of an expensive aircraft for a Tier 2 premium. I just think it's unique. It's different. It's definitely, like I said, just strictly an energy fighter. Here we go. I'm going to die. I'm going to actually fly through this bridge. But I want to show it off since I own it. Roll through the bridge. Ta-da! And the one thing this aircraft does do for me is make lions. Lots and lots of lions. Yep, like I said, lots and lots of lions. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.